What makes Mr. T so great?
Name is Mr. T. First name is Mr. Middle name is that period. Last name is T.
No, not this Mr. T, but this guy right here, Ryan Trahan. I don't know why I thought that was funny, but okay, moving on. Ryan Trahan has been praised for his Penny series, his personality.
I need to adjust my seat. Watch this. Look at that.
And his ability to make high-quality videos on budget gear. So what is Mr. T's secret weapon?
It takes education, dedication, and determination to be a success.
Ryan Trahan's ability to package a video is among the best to ever create on the platform. In fact, he's been so consistent with his style and format of packaging that every single Mr. T video you watch follows a specific format. This format is the same exact layout that the best filmmakers, creative directors, and TV show producers use when creating on massive budgets. And if you learn the format I'm about to explain to you, you can become just as good of a creator as Ryan Trahan. It first starts with understanding that Ryan Trahan, although he is a YouTube creator, he is also a storyteller. Every story ever written has a plot. A plot is essentially the sequence of events within a story, and every plot consists of story arcs. And when you combine these story arcs together, you create the journey of the story. This journey will have ups, downs, twists, and turns, but will always end with a resolution. Ryan's plots typically follow what is known as Freytags Pyramid. This states that every single plot starts with an exposition that leads into the rising action, which builds to the story's climax, and immediately is followed by the falling action and ends with a resolution. Throughout the story, you will have multiple story arcs, and this gives the plot ups and downs while you journey through Freytag's Pyramid. Examples of these arcs are Rags to Riches, Riches to Rags, Man in a Hole, Icarus, Oedipus, and Cinderella story arcs. And if you watch Mr. T enough, you know that he absolutely destroys in the ring.
To Mr. T!
What am I doing? And if you watch Ryan Trahan enough, you'll experience a lot of emotional ups and downs throughout every single one of his videos. So there's no better way to learn storytelling than to watch Ryan's videos and explain to you what part of the story aligns with what part within Freytag's Pyramid. This video is titled, I Infiltrated Shrekfest. Although this is not officially the exposition of the video, it does give context to what the video is going to be about. A story's exposition provides the necessary background information needed to follow a story. This information is usually about the setting, its characters, and historical context. Here is Ryan's masterful exposition.
The definition of a fairy tale is a children's story about imaginary beings. What if I told you once per year, on a very specific date, these imaginary beings come to life? Where, you may ask? Milwaukee. It's Shrekfest. Shrekfest is happening today. Howdy.
Firstly, he gives context to the plot by explaining what Shrekfest is. He does this in a very interesting storytelling way by talking about fantasy characters and having them come to life. He then goes on to explain his objective to infiltrate the Shrekfest and also participate in 3 of the contests.
And there's no sane person on this planet that would even compete in one of these contests. That's why I'm gonna win all 3.
In this exposition, he does 2 things. He's giving exposition to the entire story. What he also does is sets up the exposition for the first story arc. The first story arc takes place while traveling to Shrekfest, and he's going to have to sneak his way in. Ryan has taken a completely normal thing, which is traveling to Shrekfest, and turned it into some sort of challenge. And this challenge created a story arc that Ryan himself, the character of this video, has to go through it in order to get to Shrekfest.
We found our people. If I can find a way in. Hey, excuse me, guys. You guys know how we get in Shrekfest?
Huh?
You guys know how we get in?
It's free.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome. Quest complete.
After we get into Shrekfest, we get into the rising action of the entire video. The building of tension or the rising action is generally the longest part of every story. Ryan goes through 3 story arcs on this rising action. These are the 3 challenges that he gave in the exposition earlier. So the first part of the rising action is the story arc of the yelling contest. Ryan takes you on a journey of experiencing his roar and other contestants' roars.
All right, guys. Hi.
And this ultimately is building up to the peak of this story arc, which is the actual yelling contest. He shows some of the other contestants, which brings you to that climax of emotional tension. Like, oh my God, there's actually real yelling talent here.
I'm Garbanzo, and I want all of you to get out of my swamp!
And then it's his time to yell. During his yell and after his yell, you hear everyone booing. The music is sad. He solemnly walks off stage with his head down, and you experience what is called Man in a Hole.
Okay, I get it. Lord Farquaad's a bad guy in the movie, but I'm not actually Lord Farquaad. Like, I'm so shocked. Everyone was booing me before I even had a chance.
He thought he was going to perform extremely well, but he falls off. He is sad, he is upset, and he feels defeated. This is the completion of our first story arc, which leads us into the next quest, which is the costume contest.
But this story isn't over, because there's a new quest on the horizon, and I'm gonna destroy it.
He follows pretty much the exact same format as the yelling contest by showing some of the other contestants' costumes, building up that tension up to the contest itself. He's kind of digging himself out of this hole that he had fallen into after the first contest. Ryan is dedicated to win this costume contest. He sees the other contestants and he's excited and nervous to get on stage, right? Our emotions are yet at another high.
There was definitely more than 12 contestants in the costume contest, which kind of threw me for a whirl. I had a lot of people tell me that my costume was awesome, just in person, face to face, at the festival. And I was really happy to see Tomas. He got a great cheer from the crowd, but I am extremely nervous.
My name is Ryan.
Ryan, who are you?
I'm Lord Farquaad. I'm in my redemption era. I'm trying to change the narrative.
Here we go. Go ahead.
And unfortunately, Ryan does not win this challenge.
Unbelievable.
This sends him yet again into a man in a hole. He's at the lowest of the low in this emotional journey. He has experienced all the stress of traveling to Shrek Fest. He's been laughed at. He feels strange, out of place. He dressed up as Lord Farquaad at a Shrek Fest. He's at the lowest he has been this entire emotional journey. But the beauty of Ryan is his ability to be optimistic under any circumstance, and that's kind of the message that he's conveying with every one of his videos. So he goes on to say that 2 L's makes a W, and he's preparing himself for the next challenge by digging himself out of this hole, getting excited for the onion eating contest. And this brings us to the climax of the video's story. We went through all this rising action of building the emotional tension. He's at the peak of his emotional experience. He had this great time with Tomas while he was explaining the advertisement. He created onion angels, and now it's time for the onion eating contest. And the onion eating contest is just this very tense, emotional moment. There's a lot of people that have prepared for this onion eating contest. There's a very tense, I'm going to win kind of attitude going on here.
2, 1.
I thought I had a chance as well.
Train
Once again, Ryan loses this challenge. We go into the falling action, which is the release of all this emotional tension. He talks to the guy that won the onion eating contest, and then he kind of explains how his day went. And this is ultimately why I love Ryan. Out of all the creators on the platform, he ends every single video with a really well thought out resolution.
You know what? I think that this festival taught me a few things. Number one, don't dress up as the antagonist of the movie of the festival that you're going to. Number two, start cooking with onions. And number three, even if you feel like a big old loser, you can always put Shrek on the TV and turn it around. You know what? Maybe I took 3 L's, but I had a pretty solid day.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is why Mr. T is one of the best storytellers on the entire platform of YouTube. But it takes a little bit more than understanding storytelling to craft a good video. You have to know how to edit a good story. And in order to edit your video successfully, watch this video here.